New demonstrations in Cairo today supporting Egypt's President Morsi. The rallies are meant to counter those anti-Morsi protests that have drawn tens of thousands to Cairo's Tahrir Square. At issue, Morsi's decree granting himself wide-ranging presidential powers. I want to bring in Mona El-Tahawi. She is an Egyptian-American journalist who has worked extensively in the Middle East. She is currently based here in New York. Good afternoon to you. First of all, let's just start with what part or parts of the president's decree are Egyptians most concerned with?
Egyptians are most concerned with the fact that President Morsi basically removed most checks and powers against him that could stand up to him, and he basically dissolved the judiciary and essentially gave himself more powers than even Hosni Mubarak, who he removed after those 18 days, had during his 30 years in power.
Based on what we knew about Mohamed Mursi, how much of a surprise was this?
Well, you know, the concern all along was that the Muslim Brotherhood were in this to grab power. So basically, Mohamed Mursi has lived down to the worst of the expectations. But at the end of the day, as you said in your run-up to this isn't about the Muslim Brotherhood or Morsi. This is about Egypt and freedom. We have a revolution that continues for freedom and dignity. We did not have this revolution so that we could create a new dictator. And this is why people are opposing what Morsi did.
Morsi gave an interview to Time magazine this week, an exclusive interview, and this is just an excerpt from it. What I can see now is the Egyptians are free. It's their right to express and to raise their voices and express their feelings and attitudes. But it's my responsibility. I see things more than they do. What does that even mean?
You know, as an Egyptian who is so heavily invested in this revolution and who loves this revolution, I find his words incredibly insulting to the revolution and its spirit of removing basically this daddy figure. Morsi is basically saying, I'm your daddy. And what Egypt is saying, and has been saying since we started this revolution, is we don't need a daddy, we need a president.
How do you think this thing's going to play out in your country?
I'm incredibly optimistic, Craig, because what we've started in Egypt is irreversible. Someone has compared the revolution to teaching someone who can't read or write how to read or write. You cannot unteach someone how to read or write. Egypt will be free, whether it's a Muslim Brotherhood president or a secular president or a Christian president. Regardless of who's our president, we will be free because this is what this revolution is about.
Before we started our interview, I commented on your hair. I said, wow, I really love the fact that your hair matches your top, and you dropped a bombshell on me. I think you should share with our viewers the story behind the hair.
Well, last year in November, during pivotal clashes between the revolutionaries and the police, Egyptian riot police beat me and broke both my arms and sexually assaulted me. And I vowed when my bones were broken that once my bones healed, I would dye my hair red and get a tattoo on both arms. So this is to celebrate survival and to say the revolution is here. We will be here. Pink hair, red hair, whatever hair. We will be free.
I certainly hope you'll come back and continue to provide some insight for us, too. So enjoyed having you. I know you're headed back to Cairo in a couple weeks, so safe travels. And when you're back on this side of the pond, stop in and visit.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Journalist Mona El-Tahawi, thank you again.